Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Oh, boy. Man.
What's wrong?
I'm just been wondering since yesterday when we had our last casting out here, how if you look at the campaigns that are going on and stuff now, it seems like there's a look of desperation. They're trying to cover a lot of territory. You got Obama. He just did one in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming here to Georgia next week. Today, Kamala is going from Michigan, Wisconsin, and I think Pennsylvania. She's going to. She's done a news conference there in Detroit. Yesterday, she did a news conference and stuff about the killing of this Hamas leader in Palestine yesterday. And it looked like, man, it's just like a jumble of things and stuff. I don't know what's going on and what's in their mind, but you would have thought by now that they would have narrowed down the states that they deem to be most important. And you're getting these, man, awful numbers from the people, man. Yesterday I saw an article where they said Trump got that Harris might as well stop because Trump got it all won. All the battleground states is all won by him. And it was so ridiculous. All I did was read the headlines. I said, I'm not reading this crap. And then you got,
depends on who wrote it.
Yeah.
They put out a bunch of lies,
And it dawned on me and stuff this morning that with all this money going on out here, and we understand and stuff now that Trump has 4 or 5 billionaires and stuff who are financing his campaign, his entire campaign. He doesn't even need money from anybody. They're financing this whole road. Whatever he needs.
Do you know how much Harris campaigns received?
They done received over $1 billion, and she's still asking for more money. She's still out doing commercials, doing ads and stuff, asking people to donate some more money. She said we are being outspent. Man, I ever since 2008 that I can think of, these Democrats have been trying to outspend these Republicans, and they can't do it. these folks, man, got a limited amount of money. With this man, at least 5 or 6 billionaires now behind the scenes The only one that is really showing his face is Elon Musk. He's showing his face. He's out there doing his thing. He's got his political action committee. He's got all kinds of money that he's dumping in. He done gave Trump probably pretty close to $100 million, and that's not counting his political action committee he's got going on out there. You have to realize, man, that these folks and stuff and everything will buy whatever they can buy, but your power is going to come from your ground game. You got a bad ground game, you're probably going to win. I don't care how much money them guys got. And I've been noticing this when Obama first ran. He had money coming in, huge amounts of money. But then Republicans had more money coming in. They were doing the same thing then that they doing and stuff now. They're bankrolling these Republican candidates. They just dumping money into places. And yes, money can buy a lot of things, but it can't buy a good ground game. And if you got a damn good ground game, you should be able to override that money. And you got volunteers who are volunteering their time that's going to beat people who got money. Yes, they got money and they're throwing it into campaign ads and they got money going here. And also, and I'm pretty sure they should be smart enough to realize that uh, some of these posters are being bought. They're being paid to throw out these numbers. Give us some numbers in our favor, and they're going to do it. And if you look at their bankroll and everything after this election is over with, they got their bank account and stuff is fat with money that these people have given them to put these numbers and stuff out there to scare people.
Yeah.
All of this 538 guy, he's supposed to be the most honorable person out there. I don't believe he's honorable at all. His numbers is all over there going place. And there's no way that you can have numbers and stuff going up and down. Well, Trump's ahead now. Harris ahead now. Tomorrow Harris is ahead. This is Harris. Man, get your ground game, get your volunteers together, and get them out there and let them go to work. It's the only thing that you can do. It's the only way you're going to win an election nowadays against money. Get a ground game. In every state, you need a ground game. You need people out there on the ground doing what they need to do, knocking on doors. And right now, their thing should be getting these people to these polls. That's the only thing that you should be worried about, getting people to the poll. Because right now, everybody now is into the early voting stage. Get them out there
I
to the
see
poll.
your state.
Huh?
Atlanta. Did they say Atlanta or was it just Georgia? Georgia had over, first day was 300,000 early voting.
No, that was North Carolina with 353,000 yesterday.
That was North Carolina? That wasn't Atlanta?
Mm-hmm. Well, Atlanta came in and they had over a 250,000 people voted and stuff the first day, which was a record and stuff for them as far as early voting. And we're going to be seeing this, and because everybody now is into this early voting things. And there in the past, before 2020 and even after 2020, the thing that Republicans did was they early voted and got their people out there to vote. So come election day, they know what's going on. Well, Stacey Abrams figured out that formula, man, and she started it here in Georgia, and now they gotten her to put that formula and stuff out there into all these battleground states. Get these people out there to vote. Get your folks to the polls early, and we were seeing that going on now. Kamala's supposed to be here in Atlanta and stuff and everything for at least, man, she might as well just get her an apartment because she's been here in Georgia, man, for almost every week, man. She's here in Georgia, so they might well rent her an apartment or condo so she can just come in and stay. Otherwise, we got a place to stay at until election's over.
Well, let's put it like this: she's not going to do a Hillary. She's going to Wisconsin. She did 3 what was it, yesterday? 3 in Wisconsin yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
She did 3 in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And she, like you said, she's going to Atlanta, and then she's somewhere now, I understand.
Yeah,
So,
she's in Pennsylvania now. I think right now. I think this morning she was in Detroit this morning, and then she's supposed to be heading to Wisconsin. Then she's going to Pennsylvania. Man, that's why in the beginning of this whole thing, I said it seemed like it's a desperation thing here, man. They got her run everywhere. Well,
you can call it desperation, but I call it, hey, we want your vote. And I think that people, whatever reason, if they haven't made their decision, I don't know why not. To me, it's a done deal. If you voting for the orange man, hey, more power to you. But what I'm saying is there are people out there, non-voters, I'm talking about don't vote. They registered but don't vote. They want them to get out there. That's the people that's gonna vote is gonna vote. The people that made the decision gonna make the decision. It's those non-voters. Only 6%, what did they say? 60% or 65% of the people in America only vote? So it's a lot of people that are registered and don't even bother to vote.
Well,
and that's the thing that they're trying to get out. They're trying to get the people to get out there and vote.
Well, yes, you're right. But how are you doing that? Are you doing that through rallies? Because the only people going to be coming to those rallies are the same folks who come there all the time, those workers and stuff who are out there, and you're sitting there, and if that's the purpose and stuff to rally your volunteers and stuff and everything and pump them up, then okay.
According to Jamie,
if that's the purpose, but if it's to convince voters and stuff and everything, she's at the wrong place.
According to Jamie, Jamie, the DNC chair, he got a ground game.
That's what I'm saying.
Every one of those states.
That's what I'm saying. Get that ground game going. That's all you need, that ground game. You get that ground game, you don't need her running around in circles all over the place unless your purpose is to pump those volunteers up.
Well, see, we don't know what she's doing before the thing, encouraging her people, rallying people, trying to get them to keep going and getting out there. This is a 24/7 thing. Call as many people as you can call, do this, do that, and encourage them, not to, and that could be the possibility,
Well,
she
that's
got to
what I'm
keep
saying.
on getting these people up.
That's what I'm saying. If that's the thing, then fine, okay. But I don't see, other than pumping up the volunteers, what I don't see any reason to have her running around like that. And
well, what you gonna do? Sit around and wait on time?
No, not sit around and wait on them. I would say that look at what she did last week. She went to those news programs. She went to those Fox News programs, and she got on there and she sat down there. That's where she's going to get.
She's doing that too, bro.
I know she's been there, but why go to the other ones? That's all I'm saying. What's the point? What's the point in the other rallies? What's the point of the other rallies? You wearing her down.
That's why she had these big time.
Yeah, you got surrogates out there. She got Billy over here, Clinton, Billy Shaky Clinton over here and stuff in Georgia doing things out there. She got old Tippy boy. He's out there running around and doing his thing. She got Clinton. She got Obama doing it. And next week she's supposed to have Michelle out there on the campaign trail for her. Hey, that's fine. Let them get out there and rally. Her thing, I think, and stuff is to sit down and hit the target audience, just like she had been doing. She went on that Fox show. Get on there. Go on another daggone Fox show. Get on back on whatever. Go to some of them local TV stations in the area.
She do that, bro. She already
no, she hasn't done. She hasn't been. She hasn't been to those local TV stations.
Man, she's been going to Philadelphia local, Wisconsin's local. You just don't
no,
see
she
it.
hasn't. She hasn't
Look
done that.
Look at it on YouTube.
She hasn't done
it's
those local
YouTube,
things
bro.
Like she should be. Them
we don't get the stations.
Well, I don't have a regular TV and stuff and everything, but she hasn't done enough of them. All I'm saying is that your best thing, if you want to sit her running around in Pennsylvania, then put her on Erie, Pennsylvania radio station, because those stations are going to reach out to those folks and stuff who ain't voted and who was undecided. Yeah,
Well,
just
she's
like she
doing
did.
those things too, Ed.
But no, I haven't seen her do that. I haven't seen that happen. Not to these television stations. She's been doing rallies.
I'm telling
not
you,
to TV.
she's doing those.
Nah, you can go back and look at it. She's not. It's not happening. She's doing it just a little bit, but there could be a lot more going on. If you want to target those voters that's undecided or who need to hear from you, that's where you need to go. That's all I'm saying. Hit those places.
Well, we'll come back to that, but let me switch up.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm frustrated, man. It just looks like, man, to me.
You're sitting there behind the desk.
There's a desperation going on, and when and people can smell blood. You know, them folks out there can smell blood, and they smell you.
The people for Kamala is gonna vote for Kamala, and
if they smell fear, then they're not going to vote.
It's going to be a lot of people not voting for Trump. It just ain't going to vote. Here's the thing
Go ahead.
Want to bring up. Here's the thing I want to bring up. You know, they always talking about, were you better off 4 years ago than you are now? And you heard President Obama say, that's my economy that you spent off on. We had 75 straight weeks of job growth after he cleaned up the mess that Bush 2 did. Now, here's how
I would have liked for him to explain the mess that he had to clean up, because people.
He did explain it, bro. Didn't you listen to him?
He didn't explain it. No, he did not explain it. No, he didn't. He did not explain the mess that he came to clean up.
Let me
listen to the interview. I saw it 3 times. He never explained.
He does it on his speech.
No, he didn't. Not when he came in office. What Bush left him. He didn't explain that. I listened to it because I was waiting for him to explain that, because people tend to forget. Just like he just said, 4 years, he gave him an economy, and people don't even realize that he had gave him an economy that was strong as all get out. And some of the people I know was in the audience looking at wow, you were right, and they clapping their hands and laughing. Well, if they didn't remember 8 years ago, what makes you think they're going to remember 16 years ago? That's all I'm saying. That was my point. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. This is what he did. He set up what they call as a startup America. Now, we talked about this during his administration, or just before Trump became president, somewhere along in there. Back, that was like about 6 or 7 years ago. But the thing is, it started in 2011. It transitioned into what they call as Up Global, and it lasted to 2013. Then it merged with Techstar. Now, Techstar went on and merged in 2015. And here's the deal. The Startup America Partnership, a nonprofit organization, was formed to support the initiatives. The Startup America Partnership rebranded Global. And what it did was it made it an entrepreneurship. I can't even say the word now. A global entrepreneurship network. Now the thing is that this right here gave, what this program did, it gave them $2 billion to initiate loans, small loans at a smaller rate, and to help companies, small companies, grow. Now, what this did was it helped these smaller companies that were small become mid-sized companies. You know, mid-sized Fortune 500 company, you know, they go up into, you know, $5 billion, $10 billion. And so what it was is that you had zero interest rates, and he made those loans available for these companies to grow. So that means that they were hiring more people. That's the reason why he was getting that employment growth. People were getting jobs all over the place during that time. Now, the thing is that they try to say that Trump was the one that did the economy, but he didn't do the economy, bro. He didn't do the economy. He didn't do anything. Because when you look at it, man, I'm looking at it right here. He set up all kind of programs for mentorship. He set up all kinds of loan programs, and he got this thing rolling and got the country going, getting back together again. But compare that to what Trump did for his 4 years. His economy, now, he took advantage of all of those, the growth, the businesses, the new startups, the mid-sized companies. And so that rolled over to his economy. So it takes a while before those businesses start kicking in. And then when he did the tax cuts, that's what helped those smaller businesses even more so, because those tax cuts went from 35 or 32% to 21%. So therefore, they index rose 67.8%. The economy, but however, because he cut off those fundings for more growth, they actually lost 2.7 million jobs. That's what happened. They lost 2.7 million jobs. So actually, but the unemployment then went up to 6.4. So he did a lot of stuff, but the thing is, he rose the deficit by 36%. Plus, the national debt, he went from, let's see, hold on just a minute. He had the national debt went from 14 to 21 trillion. His health care, his health care dropped. A lacking health insurance rose by 3 million. So he was hurting the economy in every way to these smaller people that needed help. So to say that they were doing better, they weren't doing better, man. 4 years ago, they weren't doing better. There were a few people that was doing better, and the pay raise. Now the pay raise was going up, but you remember that in 2000 when George, during that period when George Floyd had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you remember a lot of those corporations were making an effort to make the country more tolerable? That's when the DEI really started taking effect, and they was hiring all these people, and they was doing all that. You remember that? And they was giving people raises, and they was giving people grants and money, and all that kind of stuff. These corporations, and so therefore the number of income went up too as well. But all I'm saying is, here it is too. Manufacturing jobs lost 178,000 jobs. Gross domestic products 2.2 declined in 2020. Poverty rate went up. And then, of course, the federal debt went from 14.4 to 21.6. So I don't understand. It's just like what you're saying is like, it's almost like they don't. The Democrats don't know how to tell their story of success.
Absolutely, absolutely. They do not know how to tell their story, so people will understand. The people who are sitting down there at the lower end of that totem pole that you need to get out to vote, they are not telling them the whole story that will motivate them into coming out. While you were sitting there talking about were you better off 4 years ago than you were today, I just wrote down a bunch of stuff, man, that happened from the time he came in office in 2017 to the time he left until he got voted out. And here's a rundown of all this stuff that he done. He enacted that tax cut that gave billionaires a huge amount of money into their pocket. He reduced the corporate payouts and stuff, the taxes and stuff down from what 35% to 21% and stuff now, which is a big hole in the daggone budget and stuff as far as the deficit. He had you remember they had this thing going on there in Charlottesville for a long time that they had this riot going on, and these right wing son of a guns came in there and took their car and ran over these
Mhm.
people who were sitting out there, asking them to remove these statues and stuff out of there. And he actually congratulated the those MAGA folks who were out there beating up on these innocent folks. He had that George Floyd killing and stuff going on during his time. He tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act. He spent I don't know how long trying to repeal that Affordable Care Act, and he finally almost got it passed through Congress and stuff and everything. And what the heck happened?
John
John,
McCain.
John McCain came in and stopped that whole show. And he had spent all kinds of time, man, months and stuff trying to get that daggone thing through Congress. And he had almost had it done. And John McCain came in and stopped it. You remember that we had a government shutdown for 45 days that messed this whole daggone place up. These people out there did not have jobs. They weren't working anything. And it took Nancy Pelosi to finally sit down with him in the White House, sitting there at the table and stuff and everything. And they were about ready to get up and walk out. And they had already entered 45 days of the government shutdown. And that government shutdown and stuff and everything caused our credit rating and stuff to fall, which caused our borrowing power and everything to go up. And then he had coronavirus to come along. Now I can't blame him and stuff for the coronavirus and the virus that came along, but I can blame him for how long it took him to get that thing and stuff under control, which he never did.
Never did.
The last year of his administration, he never got that thing under control. He had so much fiasco and stuff going on, and people were out of work. There were folks and stuff who wasn't going to work. They had shut down this country completely. I remember, Ted, walking out there driving down these interstate highways, man, and you can drive down there doing 100 miles an hour and wouldn't see a soul for
But
almost
gas was
4
$2 a gallon, bro. Gas was $2 a gallon
for almost 4 months. Some of these businesses and stuff have never recovered from that mess that happened because they had to shut down. They couldn't keep their business and stuff open. A whole lot of folks lost a whole lot of stuff and everything. These people were sitting out there who own properties and everything, and these folks and stuff didn't have any money to pay the rent because they couldn't do anything. And a lot of these small time families and couples and stuff who had invested their money in real estate and everything went belly up, man. They lost all their properties and everything because they couldn't pay the daggone mortgage and they had to leave these people staying in their homes for
and
almost a year.
Who came up and what happened? Who swooped all that property? big time corporations bought up all
But
that property.
they got them dirt cheap, man. Because these folks who own these properties, man, went belly up. They couldn't handle it.
They
And
was
these folks and stuff.
buying 200 and 300. They was buying them in lump sums, bro.
So that's just a litany of what the heck happened in the 4 years that this son of a gun was sitting there in the White House.
And they want to put them back in office.
Was a disaster. And we're not even talking about them trying to impeach his butt twice. We're not talking about Ukraine when he went over there and lied to these folks and stuff and everything and almost had a daggone started a war there and everything because he went there and lied and they impeached him. All this time, the Congress sitting there impeaching him and they sent it to the daggone Senate to be done and they let his butt go. Ain't no daggone president in the history of this country been impeached twice. Not once.
Well,
twice.
Those two things, they let this, his little followers say those were bogus charges. Those are bogus charges. I don't care how much paperwork you got.
Hey, man.
You got false evidence.
They had an independent counsel. You remember that old boy that did that whole show?
Benny,
and they were getting ready to indict his butt and everything for charges and stuff and everything for ripping off these people and stuff. And I hope you don't remember, they had this thing going on where they had an underground, what they call it, a connection and stuff with Russia. Don't you remember that? His son got involved in that, man. They had this underground channel going on with Russia right there in New York. Right. Yeah. He was involved in that. Yep. He had so much bull crap going on. And we ain't even talked about him having these cages and stuff built right along the daggone border, man, and locking these kids up.
Little babies.
Separating them from their parents. That some of these folks still ain't even found out their mama and daddies, where they at. And deported them back to these countries. Some of these kids were deported back to a country that they didn't even live in. They just let them off the plane. Children. There they are. And we want him back. And we want him back. So those are the things that I'm going to sit down there that I could sit down there and I know that Obama can just run this, give him a list and just run this stuff down, telling the audience and stuff what the heck happened in his administration. And do we want this to happen again? Because people have forgotten about that. I haven't. Man, you can write 2 books on his 4 years of being the president of this country.
There's 1,000 books out on this man. They got 1,000 books on him. I don't know who banned them because I wouldn't pay for none of it.
He had such a mess going on there in his place. He done had what? He had 4 or 5 chiefs of staff, didn't he?
1, 2. He had 3.
He was getting them just like he changed his diapers.
I can remember 3. It might have been more.
Yeah, they had Kelly. They had the boy that they're trying to indict now and everything. They had Reince Priebus. Remember, he was the chief of staff when he first started out. Then they had this general and stuff and everything that he had trying to make to be the national security advisor and stuff and everything. And this man, he had to pardon him for crimes that he had committed and stuff. And he know the man was dealing with these foreigners and stuff, and he wanted him to be the national security advisor. And he sat down there and they took the daggone money for he started out the first day he had his inauguration and stuff. They just stole $90-some million just from the inauguration. Now they just finding out that he done ripped off the Secret Service because they came in there and was renting rooms out at his hotel. he, and he turned around there and had the folks stop his car, and he was telling all these religious people about the Bible, and he two Corinthians. Man. Oh my
You
God.
know, how in the world, when you go back and you look at all the stuff that he piggybacked on President Obama and the stuff that he coordinated with these corporations, what he coordinated with some of these crooks over in Russia, and I'm telling you, man, these people. What is wrong with them, man? I don't get it.
I don't know, man. It just they forget, man. People done forgot, Ted. It's in the past, and they have forgotten about it. They have.
How can you have such a short memory? That's what I don't get.
Because it's so much going on, Ted, that every day that man had mess going on. So after a while, you become almost like if you got a sore on your body, and you just keep on messing with that sore, and it never heals. So only thing you looking at is you got that one sore, but you've been messing with that daggone thing for 4 years, and you've been rubbing on it, and it hadn't healed yet. So you just cover it up. You forget about it. That's what's going on. Everybody forgetting it, man, because he just keeps so much stuff going on. I can remember, man, we talking about this stuff that he every day he didn't need no campaign ads and stuff when he was running, because every day, man, he had stuff going on. He had mess going on every day. So he was on the news 24/7.
Yeah.
24/7 he was on the news because every day he had some mess going on. Every day.
I just the thing is with me is that it's almost like the American people, we have gotten so much of listening to garbage on TV. That this is just my own opinion. I'm just saying. When you program your mind, you don't even know what normal is now.
Right.
People don't even know what normal is, like having a peaceful news day. Mm-hmm. Something is wrong if you can't bring up something that's negative. And they have these news people, to me, and I'm talking about from local on up to the big top. If they're not talking about Trump or what he's doing and what he's done, because all the thing they care about is eyes. Who's watching TV so they can get more advertising. And these corporations is playing that game because we already did a thing on commercials. I don't even remember the number, how much they were spending, but it's almost to $1 trillion of what they're spending in advertising dollars. These major corporations. You got so many agencies now, the top agencies now, they're not even here in America. They're all over the world. These agencies using American corporations because the corporations now are all over the world. These major corporations, so they advertise everywhere on TV and other corporations as well, other TV stations or countries all over the world. So this thing is a game to them. To these corporations, they playing the American people and the other people too. As far as, hey, they like to watch TV. And so they're showing all these provocative programs, so people can be watching TV when they get home from work. It used to be comedy, laughing, ha 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 ha. A lot of good comedy shows, and and if you ever notice on TV. What is the major show? If you look at certain shows, all they show is FBI, cop shows, You got one that's got 3 or 4 different kind of FBIs. You got 911. You got this. Where's the comedy shows? There are no comedy shows, bro. Where's the regular TV shows where you got family members and what have you? And then if they are family members, they're kind of stupid and they ain't got nobody people of color in it. Nobody, no real life stories. They just got stupid comedy that's not even funny. And they just pour money into the advertising dollar, and they're not even, their ratings are horrible. They're not even getting 10 million people watching these shows now. You used to get 30 million, and you was the top dog. You get 10 million now, you're in good shape. And they still pouring money into these corporations because people get programmed on buying their product because they see it on TV all the time. So this is all about money, not only for the politicians, but money for these corporations as well. It's all about money.
It's
and
a
we program.
business decision, a business decision. that they want Trump back in office because it's a business decision.
Yeah.
Now, when you when you own, I'm trying to think of this media company that went out and bought up all the television stations and stuff in the country. I think you and I talked about that.
We did a segment on it.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
it's coming to me. It'll come to me.
Right. We talked about that. They made a conscious effort to buy up all of these media outlets because they knew that they need to program the American people. And if you own the television stations, then you determine what goes on in people's households. And they bought up, man, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm about ready to say their name and stuff here. But
on the tip of my tongue too.
Yeah, we did a segment and stuff on that, talking about how they were out there buying up these radio stations and stuff and everything, and TV stations, and they did a pretty good job of doing it. And now they are in charge. We are subjected to hearing their viewpoints and them telling us and stuff what we should be listening to. So they're programming our minds right now on these television stations and radio stations or whatever. So we have to do something about that media market and get the voices and stuff of local people and stuff heard. It's around the country so people can know what to do, and that has an effect and stuff on how politics go, what people think every day. And like we just talking about, they put Donald Trump. He doesn't have to be on Fox. He's on CNN and MSNBC. He's on ABC, NBC. All of them. They talk about every day is Trump. So when you start putting this guy out there all the time on these TV stations, people tend to not look at the bad part of him. They look at him because, hey, this man is powerful. He's out there every day on these shows. We hear him. We hear his voice every day. So
well, we know why, because he has a 30 million followers. He has over 30 million people that follow everywhere he goes. So therefore, they know that's an integrated rating. Hey, we got 20 million people that watch Trump. So that's advertising dollars.
Yes, and he's also driving that whole narrative and stuff because just like he does every night. He stays up at 2:00 in the morning and he puts out these what they call that new thing
Text.
now. The company that the social media, he's on social media all the time putting out things, and he's got 30-something million followers and stuff, just like you said, and he pushed this stuff out there, and then in the morning everybody's talking about it. Well, Trump said this, Trump said that. So man, have to,
you know what it is. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, because I work for the newspaper, major newspaper. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. What it is that these people have to bank on news, but at the same time, if it's easy news, it's easy news for just go ahead on and talk about Trump. But when they have really gotten rid of all their investigators reporting, if they've gotten rid of all their reporters, a lot of them, on different stories, people don't want to read. They didn't heard these stories before. They didn't heard these stories. The woman that just whatever happened to her, or this group, whatever happened. They don't want to. They don't want to report on that stuff. Local people, the local news cover a little bit of it. It might be real quick. It might be 1 minute, and boom, they switch to something else. These people do not have the staff or don't want to pay the money for these reporters to do real stories. So therefore, they just take the easy way out and talk about Trump. They'll spend a whole segment on Trump, but they'll spend 2 minutes on something that happened in the community, whether it's positive or negative. And they'll switch right over because, number one, a lot of people get their news early in the morning. They get on their phone and, they got their news already, what they want to see. So it's a paradigm switch. I don't know how you get people to really be critical thinkers, to do some real research, take the time to find real information out so you can come up with your own conclusion and not be a follower of false information. People just lying. You know what Musk did? He sat there and did a whole commercial. They had to shut him down. Did a whole commercial on. I guess he thought it was a parody, or it was some kind of parody or something. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
She was saying that Joe Biden did this and Joe Biden did that, and I'm for Trump and all that stuff. It came right out of her mouth. It was an AI. Sounded just like her.
Mm.
It's a joke. This is a joke to Elon Musk. This whole thing is a joke. He think, he got all this money. He said, this is a joke. This is the way I'm going to control. I'm going to have power. I'm going to be running America. Because Trump ain't smart enough. He don't know what I'm doing. He don't care. He's going to be running America.
Well,
and whoever his boss is.
Why you think he's dumping all that money into his campaign so he can be a figurehead for him? He's going to be behind the scenes holding the strings on him. You can't do this, boy. I got you. He speaking of Elon Musk, he filed a brief and stuff with the FCC because he wants to change how Starlink is being distributed to the people out there in the rural areas. And he has, when they first put Starlink up and everything, I didn't know this and everything, but the government gave him almost $100 million to get this thing started. And he had made promises and stuff to the FCC and the government and stuff that he was going to have internet access to people out in the rural areas and also around the world. And he's got something like 2,500 satellites floating around up there in space. And now what he wants to do and everything, he's telling them, say, well, what I told you before, I can't get it to work, but if you allow me to get some more licensing and stuff and everything from you all and everything, so I can get more spectrum space out there and everything, and lower my satellites and stuff and everything to about 4,000 feet or something like that up in the atmosphere there, then I'll be able to give gigabyte internet to the people out in the country. Well, finally, since the FCC now has those Democrats and liberal folks and stuff on their board, they told him no.
Yeah.
So he's pissed off and everything now because they told him no. So he's trying to, because he had already told them that he was going to do this when he first took the money. I'm going to give these people gigabyte internet. They're going to be up and down low speed's going to be great. Well, he never even attained that with the money that they gave him to build this stuff that he owns.
Yeah. I read that article. the thing is that you said it right. He was upset because he wanted to also help North Carolina.
Well, Trump did that because he came on his rally and that's when he came on to his rally and he had Elon Musk on there and he told him, well, all Elon got to do was just turn the switch. He pulled out his laptop and he had internet access to all these folks up in these mountains up in here, and he did it just on his laptop while I'm sitting there watching him. And some of the people around there were saying, how in the hell can he do that? They don't have no electricity. There's no electricity. How did he do this, Trump? But he thinks most of the people out there in the audience believed him. That Elon Musk did this.
Trump, you know what Trump said? He said he shipped a bunch of these big old trucks that can, dig and get all that water out of the different parts of their little area. He trucked in all these trucks, these big old dump trucks and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what Trump said.
Mm-hmm.
Elon did that.
Man,
we don't know what's going on, and then on top of that, the sad part about it, FEMA should probably have their own reporting system of what they're doing. That's the sad, they rely on the governors to report. Mm-hmm. But FEMA should be doing their own thing, saying what they're telling people what to do. Because mm-hmm. here in Florida, let me tell you something. It's crazy, bro. They got garbage all over the place. Flooding.
He's still there? I thought they were supposed to been moving that stuff out of the way.
They got all kind of stuff, man. People haven't been serviced. And then he got his cronies, the people that he like or what have you, paying those people when, and FEMA is about to ready to get out of here now. I mean, some people, they're going to have an office here all the time, but the point is, I'm talking about they had a bunch of FEMA people here, mm-hmm. but, he wants to run the show.
Who is he?
The governor, Mr. Dictator.
Oh, wow. Well, there's going to be a whole big mess about that if FEMA does decide to leave and everything. He's going to blame Biden on that and the Biden-Harris administration. He's planning on blaming them about it.
They can only, it's other things they have to do too. If he's not going to utilize what they want to do, to help these people, and a lot of these people, need to be signed up. They need to sign up, and I don't know who is running the show because there's a lot of people being denied services. You remember, usually when your electricity is out. They usually give you a $750 check.
Right.
They're denying everybody. They're denying so many people.
Now, I haven't heard about that.
Is that now that's supposed to be FEMA, but is that FEMA or is that?
It's FEMA. They supposed to give $750. They increased it, I think, about a year ago from $500 to $750.
Yeah.
But they give it to the folks in North Carolina.
Huh?
The folks in North Carolina are getting it.
They're denying people, bro. And I think that might you got a different kind of governor there. Here, this dude purposely seemed like he has some kind of vendetta, and I think they're purposely not giving certain people $750. Now he know that people in my area, electric has been out for a week.
And it's still out?
No, it's not out now. A lot of people got their electricity now, but what I'm saying is, you apply for something and then you don't get it. They tell you other reason. So I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna call myself and see if I can get some information about what's going on. Because I don't believe FEMA is doing this. I believe it's him.
Mm.
That's just my own personal opinion. I don't know. But so I don't want to put that out there like he's doing. I don't know what FEMA's doing. Maybe they overtaxed. Well, they are overtaxed because that's right. Congress didn't increase
Didn't get
their
that
budget.
money. Right. They didn't. They're sitting around that money now because they didn't come back and increase their
And we
budget.
had an emergency. They didn't even want to come back. That just goes to show you what the Republicans care about them, and they still vote for these jackasses.
Well, we getting to the end here, sir. You got final words here.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, even though we was talking kind of out of the pocket, bringing up facts, things that was happening and what 45 had been doing and what he's done, it hurts my heart to see that America don't want to come back to normalcy. Now, the reason why I believe that the reason why we can't go back to normalcy is this is me thinking out the box. We got almost 200 million new Americans. Foreigners that just came over here, and then they got children, first generation and second generation. They don't know no better. And it's a serious thing, man. Something that we need to look into, bro. But when you got over almost 200 million new Americans in this country that's only been here for less than 70 years, and now they got children, and then their children got children. They don't know nothing about this country, bro. They don't understand what's going on. They think this is normal now. They think this is the way we supposed to live. They think, with chaos all the time. And then they get into these jobs themselves, and they trying to keep their little jobs. If they get a police job or a teacher's job and all that, they just follow along with the program because they want to keep their job.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to school and everything, got their degrees and all that. But this is not normal and they don't respect the people that was here before them and the generation of people that's been here for hundreds of years. Because they say, hey, I got mine, I got my house, I got my 2 cars, I got my good job. I want to keep it. Well, you ain't gonna keep it. Because this man is trying to destroy the middle class. He's trying to destroy the middle class. He wants everybody to be poor, all but the oligarchs and the 1%ers. That's just my opinion. I think he wants to be able to control everybody and tell everybody, what to do. And and these people come over from other countries and they think, America's a great country, blah, blah, blah. They don't realize, man, this country, man, can be way better than what it is. But they need to find some history and get some critical thinking, because there's too many foreigners in my mind that don't understand how this country works. That's just my opinion.
Well, that's a theory that's worth looking at, because I never thought about that. That is a possibility. That you're correct. Looking at what the heck's going on here in this country, yeah, could be it. And it could be that reason and stuff why, or there could be a combination of all of them.
Yeah, because you're gonna have your racists and your bigots and all that stuff.
Right.
But I'm talking about, these foreigners that's just been here for. You got some people ain't even been here 25 years.
Yeah.
Or less. A lot of people are here. And then you wonder, you say, well, it's too close. It's this. because they got to persuade these people, hey, we are the best for you. You just don't understand it. They don't understand it. All they know is they think that Trump is the shit.
Mm-hmm. And he's got the bravado and the power to do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And when somebody has the power and they think they have the power to do what they want to do, you don't want to be the one who is voting against him. You want to be the one and stuff that if he does get into power and stuff, you can save your own hide and tell him, "Well, I voted for you, Donald." And that's an awful shame that that fear is being used to drive people's opinions and stuff about what they should and should not have, or what should be going on. It's man, it's something to think about. I never even thought about the fact that there are people and stuff here who, and a lot of these people have came from dictatorships.
Yeah. Yeah.
They came from dictatorships, so they don't know any better.
Well, this is America.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, they're not thinking on those terms, because, we supposed to be, you got a Supreme Court, you got a Congress, you got a Senate, and all that stuff, and then you got all these local people. But when you think about it, some of these people, man, they just getting along. They in state houses, they in Congress, and what have you, and they getting money, hand and foot and stuff like that, and living like they never lived before. So therefore, yeah, of course, if you sit around and shuffling paper, and now you got a top position somewhere, whether it's in the corporate or the politician area, hey, I want to keep on this. I want to keep my lifestyle, but you ain't gonna have no lifestyle.
Hmm.
Yeah, you might live good for 10 years or 15 years, but pretty soon, hey, you next. Trust me, you next. Right now, they own the Latinos. That's what they claim they after. Right now, that so many illegals or undocumented people here, and he already said he's going to round them up, and if necessary, going to use the army to do it. Now, who you think going to be next?
It ain't gonna be me.
I don't know, man. You look like you might be one of them Africans. You 6'7". You're one of them Africans that's from Zimbabwe or something.
No, man, I know how Trump thinks. I know how to hide. I know how to hide in this. I know how to hide in the invisible man. I'm the spook that sat behind the door.
Hey, I'm too old and too tired, bro. I can't maneuver like that. I can't maneuver like that, bro, no more. I can't navigate. I can't. Hey, I'm too old, bro. I can't put up with that. It's too much chaos, too much crap, unnecessary.
My mind is telling me that I can do it, but
Your mind is
my body is saying something else.
See, I'm a realist. I know I can do it.
Because I'm sitting there thinking, I said, yeah, I can do this. But if I look down here at that long body here, so, oh man, I'm having a difficult time moving around and getting stuff done. I've been working today, and man, I wore out, man. I was sweating before the show started. I got a fan down here blowing me because I was hot. I can't do what I used to do, but I'm gonna keep on trying. Anyway, man, my thoughts and stuff about what we talked about today and stuff is that, man, I certainly hope that girlfriend can get over the hump, man. And as I look at our vice presidential candidate whose stuff was running every day, she has and I can see folks and stuff, especially women and stuff, white women on these shows and stuff, talking about she is looking presidential. And that's something that people are looking at. They are watching her very, 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 very closely and stuff. And if you listen to her and what's going on, she is looking presidential. But man, I don't know if she can get by uh, this thing here that's going on there in Michigan. And because if you today when she came forth for the news conference, one of the lady reporters and stuff in there asked her about what's going on there in Palestine. And man, she has to walk a very, very, very fine line and stuff and everything with that. And I can see her tiptoeing around that issue and stuff and everything because you got a lot of Palestinians, man, who live there in the state of Michigan, 700 some thousand of them and stuff. And they got that's a powerful block of people that if you can't get them to come out and vote for you and everything, she can easily lose Michigan.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, they had a panel. I forget what show it was. I think it was CNN, full of Palestinians. They had not only Palestinians, but they had Arabs. And this guy, I'll never forget what he said. He said, there are people that are willing to vote for Trump despite the outcome. That's what they said. There's a lot of Palestinians that will vote for Trump, or they won't vote at all. To me, it don't make a bit of sense to me. When we know that we try to, I'm just saying, in my opinion, we're trying to do the right thing, the fair thing. You got a robed prime minister up in Israel, and he has no care for life for certain people. So therefore, he's out of control. But at the same time, you're talking about the nation of Israel, of the people, are against him as well, of what he's doing. They're not looking at that. What they're saying is what Bibi is doing. So to me, they need to be on the right side, and the right side, in my opinion, it should be Kamala Harris. Kamala
And
Harris.
and that was one of my points that I was trying to talk about, targeting your how you deal with these folks and stuff. She knows that she has a very, very weak position and stuff with the Palestinian community there
Ain't
in the
nothing she can
state
do, bro.
of Michigan.
Ain't
And
nothing she can
there
do.
has to be, yep, there is something that she can do. There's a way that she can get into there, but she probably won't be able to do it herself, but she can probably use surrogates and stuff to go into those Palestinian communities and stuff and everything to get them to come out and vote for her. So and I believe that there's a way that you can do it, but that's a fine line that you have to dance and stuff to do it. And you can't. She's trying not to piss off the Palestinians, and she's trying not to piss off the Israelis and stuff, the Jews. But both of them are very, very powerful and stuff out there. And and her husband, he's Jewish. I don't know, man. Hey, man, we way over our daggone time here, people. So, hey, it was good that you guys listened to us today. We had one hell of a talk and stuff going on here, and we're going to continue to start doing that because we got a lot to say, and it's very important to our community, and it's very important to what's going on now in the world out here. So, man. Anyway, talk to you later, people. Bye.